So how goes it? And well, we're fortunate that we've got some extra runners here. And I've got a couple different types of cutters here. And I'm sure you're interested on finding out what the big hype is about these SPN 120 5-stars that are made by GodHand. These are their flagship cutter. They retail from anywhere from 70 to upwards of 120 online. I was fortunate to get these specifically at a local comic store here in Nashua for $77 and some, well, $78. We don't have tax in New Hampshire. And why is that relevant? Because we're going to compare it to, say, these Cobalts you can get it at your local Lowe's for approximately $2.99, and to a pair of specifically made not for plastic cutting but wire cutters from Xdela that are really the main reason why these are pricey are because they're ESD for soldering and other types of wiring. But we're going to compare it to these. So we're going to go ahead and switch camera angles here, but before we do that, if you're into things like these Gundam components, like, you know, Gunpla and making cool models, and you want to know more about the tools and see stuff like that, feel free to hit that comment button and say, hey, you want to see more of that, and then mash that subscribe button because I do just those things. And maybe you want to hit that bell to get the next notification when those videos come up. So let me know, leave a comment below, and we're going to dive right in here right as we switch camera angles. Zoom out a little bit more, we get a little better depth, and give you a close examination of what these things look like straight out of the packaging. Now they have this neat little foil seal thingy here, which is kind of cool. It's stapled at the bottom down here. And some sturdy plasticky stuff. So that's basically what these look like. Once again, these are the GodHand SPN 120 5-star. These are the gold ones with the blue grip. And they retail for approximately 70 to 140, 50-ish dollars. But we're going to go ahead and see what the hype is here. And so first off, let's go ahead and this is what it is. And what I normally use are these guys here, which work wonders. They're really good. They just got dull recently and makes it a little difficult. And you'll see here when we flip the mic around and get a better choice, you'll hear. And then just for a good, you know, baseline, this is $2.99 at your local Lowe's. It's a Cobalt brand, made in China tool. Nothing special, but it works well and it's very cheap. For what you need. And we're going to compare these three both on the quality of the cut, and also, you know, there's a clear thing that you'll notice when you cut with these that I've seen online. I really want to press if they really are silent when you cut in comparison to something like this. So let's go ahead and flip this mic around real quick, or actually let's unpack this real quick. So let's take this out. Oh, I'm just going to pry it from the side here because I'm cool like that. Get it out of the packaging. Now let's take a close examination here. Really nice. Look at that. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch. Let's switch to the macro here so we can really do this some justice here. Hang on real quick. Three of the exact part here for the audio test. Let me get this little hand guide out of there. We're going to place this here like so, and we're really focused here on trying to pick up the audio versus it maintaining focusability. For some reason nothing is moving yet. The camera is there. We go. Okay, so the first one we're going to cut with will be the El Cheapo ones, and we're going to go with these guys right here. Alright, so that was the El Cheapo $2.99 from Lowe's, Cobalt. I'm going to move on over here to the next one. Now this is the ones I was using. They are a little dull, but That's number 2. Let's keep this over here. This was number 1. This was number 2. Now we're going to go ahead and try the God hands here. The focus up here. And that is the God hands one. Alright, so that gives you an idea. You don't get that whole noise that we were getting earlier. So I'm going to change here real quick and we'll discuss those 3 cuts again. Okay, so now that the mic has been swapped around, this was cut with the Lowe's ones. Take a look here. Oop. Let's see what we can get here. Alright, so plenty of leftover, but consistent on the leftover component. So let's see if we can clean up with those same ones. Okay, so that was a pretty good pop, but let's take a look at that cleanup. Pretty good. Still leaves a little bit on there. As you can see here, you still have to sand that down. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at number 2 here, which was the extra ones that I have. How close was that cut? These cuts were fairly close. They're a little rough, but they are very close. Like, as you can see, not much disturbing there. I mean, they're rough. As I mentioned, they are, in fact, dull. So that's what that looks like. No cleanup really necessary there. So we'll go on to number 3 here. Now this is the God hands that I cut with, and ooh. Look at that. Okay, let's look at what's left over here. Not going to lie here, there's definitely a little bit left over on the cut. As you can see, just a little bit, but it's a smooth cut. I mean, just look at how smooth that cut is in comparison. It's really smooth. Looks like I shifted on my cut. Alright, so let's take a look at the other ones, just to see if that was just user error here. Alright, so we're looking at these. I still see just a little bit of lip at that angle. Just a little bit of lip at that angle. So there is a little bit left over there, but let's see how it is on cleanup here. So let's keep that right there. Oh, that's not easy on cleanup, that's for sure. See if I can see now what I've done in my attempt to clean that up is I've kind of roughed up the surface. I think it's really just kind of as close as I'm going to get with my experience with these. Maybe I got to get better at cutting with it. But alright, so that's 3 different cuts, 3 different tools. Let me switch cameras and let's wrap this up, shall we? Alrighty, so here we are now back in the regular angle. So once again, we were comparing the God's Hand 120, which is their flagship model nipper, against a Xtella Series ESD 5-star and your El Cheapo Cobalt. Now these run approximately $180. These are around 100, like I said, 70 to about 150-ish, and these are $299 at your local hardware store. Lowe's, these are Cobalt brand. You can find them in the little loose single tool bin. Right, $299. Ultimately, what are my thoughts? Well, if you can get yourself a pair of these, go for it. They're a lot better, cleaner cut, as we showed. The finish was a lot smarter, but it's rough, and that's because these are dull, and I know they're dull. Now, if you're looking for a really choice cutter and you have the money to spend and you want to buy nice, these are probably the way to go. Now, if you want to be able to really hone in and get all the other things like an emery board and paints and a few starter systems or things like that you might want to consider and you're on a budget, start with these. Just start with a cheap pair of $2.99 cutters you can get at your local hardware store. Like I said, these are Lowell's Cobalt, $2.99 all day, every day, I think, over there. And you can get all the other things you need in a few, even a kit, versus if you're getting something like this. Now, this is more like if you're like me, who's building multiple models at a time, and you want to make sure your cuts are clean because it saves you from painting and resurfacing and doing that. These are good if you've already worn out a really good pair, and that's why I got these. Ultimately, if you ask me, save your money, use it better on something else, use it more towards your kit and getting you all the things you really need. These aren't really it. I mean, they're cool. I'll give you more feedback, but my review of it is kind of, it's a pass. It's a pass because of budget. Are they worth the $70 to $150 you may spend, or in my case, the $78 I spent? Time will tell, but right now, they serve their purpose. They look like they'll do the trick. They're super, super sharp, and I like that they're flat and smooth. So, I'll leave it at that. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Don't forget to leave a comment, and if you made it this far and you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscription button. Helps me out big time. Thanks for watching.